Hey everyone, I have another mating pattern example for you. This is called a single rook sac on H8. It's a very simple idea, but you have to have the H file clear. So if you're ever in a game where the H file is clear against a castled king, then maybe you might want to look for some of these ideas. And again, to remind those who haven't seen any of my videos yet, if this is your first video, I'm just an advanced beginner sharing with you my quest for knowledge, if you will, in learning chess, and that this is a mating pattern lesson that's dual purpose, so that maybe both myself and hopefully some of you watchers out there might be able to benefit from this. If I knew that one of these mating patterns helped somebody win a game, that would be well worth the effort on my part just to know that. So, hey, if you guys ever run into something like that and you remember one of these, please let me know. I'd get a big kick out of that. So anyway, this is very simple. The idea is to sacrifice the rook on H8 in order to do one of two things. Again, to clear the file for the queen to come into play, and again to force mate on the opponent, or to force the king to move to a square that it's going to force it into a mate, and that's more of a sacrificial decoy. But the idea is the same. You sack the rook, and then no matter who takes back here, whether it's the king or the bishop, it's still going to be a forced mate situation, at least if my calculations are correct. If the king takes back, then it's going to be a quick mate, game over. If the bishop takes back, clearing the way for the queen. I did some kind of crazy sacrificial ideas here just to show my point, because basically this is mate on the next move if black doesn't do something. So I'm just showing this sacrificial queen move just to show there isn't really much black can do, because now white can deliver mate two ways, either straight back mate or here. Maybe another idea might be instead of this crazy queen thing, I don't know, let's just say it's still going to be game over. Alright, I hope that was clear. The next example is very clear, very simple. Same thing. You can see, I'll give you a second to look at it. You've got this diagonal battery here. So if the king were here, then this could be basically the mating square. So by using the sacrificial decoy, again, the king has nowhere to go. Can't go anywhere. Has to take the rook, forcing mate. I think that's very simple. I hope you can follow that pretty easily. This is the same exact thing. The difference is that you're using the knight as the supporting piece for the mate. Again, forcing the king to this square and using H7 as the mating square. You sacrifice the rook, and notice that the bishop can't take back because of the pin. So this is forcing the king to take back and then allowing a very simple mate. Check, forcing mate. Now the last sample is exactly the same thing, except for there's a twist, and the twist is that there's a knight here that is protecting this mating square. So all we're going to do is add one more tactic of removing the guard. But again, what you need to do is you need to buy a little time with these checks with the rook. You're basically pulling the king out to allow for another check, because this basically buys white time to get this pieces into play. I mean, how often are you going to sit there and go, oh yeah, let's throw the rook down onto the h8 file and give it to the black king and give up the game? I mean, it's hard to think about giving away. It is for me to give away a piece. But if you recognize the potential for this mating pattern, then it'll make you look at that. It'll make you explore that possibility and potentially give you a win. That's all I'm saying. You have to know the pattern, or you're not going to go throwing your rook away for no good reason, obviously. So now what we're doing is, again, we're gaining time. We're checking the king. Now we can remove the defender, and no matter what black does, let's say black takes back with the pawn, then with this battery again, with the support of the bishop, the king has to go into the pocket, so to speak. It's blocked in, and then you can deliver mate. I mean, you definitely have to obviously look at this and make sure that it works before you do it. But it's not a whole lot. It's not a very difficult position to actually look for. So it's kind of an easy idea to find. Now, if say black takes back with a queen, it's really no different. It's the king has a weak back rank due to this open file. You just remove the only defender of that open. Well, it didn't have a defender of the open file. So I mean, you're just opening it up further. Now, if let's say instead of taking the bishop, black pushes a pawn. Well, that's just silly because there's an immediate mate on h8. And then I just dug a little bit deeper myself, because I know you guys out there love looking for a solution to a major problem. Well, black has a major problem here, and the only other thing I could find that wasn't in any of the books would be a sacrificial play, hoping for some sort of counterplay. Turn the engine off. You know, if you did something like this, and then black has some counterplay, but again, he's down a queen for a pawn, and it's, even though black could take this bishop back with this, you know, well, let's just say white does this and black does. What is the engine still on? I don't know why it squeaked at me. You know, something like this, it's still going to be a lost game for black. I had Fritz just play around with it, and it was still pretty hard to overcome. But it's something, and that's just an idea I wanted to share with you in case one of you guys out there or gals out there found that and wanted to share it with me. I see it too. But I'm not doing this to show a difficult situation to get out of. I'm just trying to help show patterns of ideas of how to try to create a mating pattern based on these examples. So I'm sorry if they're not, if there's any inaccuracies in them, but I'm just using them out of books and stuff. They're not my own creation, quite frankly. So anyway, I hope somebody benefits from this, and if you do, please let me know. It'd be cool to know that you watch one of my mating pattern videos and you were able to actually use that idea. Of course, they're not mine, but you know, they're quite common mating patterns that we all should know. So anyway, I'm learning as I go. I hope you are too. Thank you all for your support, your comments, and for watching.